The Chicago Bears get absolutely blasted and blown out by the Green Bay Packers at home by a final score of 38-20. I have a lot to say about this game. So just sit back and, watch as I go on this, because I'm telling you, there is so much to get to here. So much to get to. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, please do go ahead and subscribe. That is the best way to support me. And let's get into this. All right. So the first thing I want to start with, before I even talk about the game itself and the specifics of the game and all of that, is I don't want to overreact to one game. All right. I'm starting with this for a reason. I don't want to overreact to one game for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, last year, week 1, the Bears won against the 49ers, who went all the way to the NFC Championship game, and we beat them, remember, in that monsoon. And all of a sudden, we think that the season's going to be pretty good and it's going to be fantastic. And hey, maybe we have a chance here. And then you end up going like 2-14 the rest of the way. We had 3 wins last year, worst record in football. So I say that to say the Bears losing today 38-20 to the obviously arch rival Green Bay Packers, when even Aaron Rodgers is not there. It's Jordan Love, who had a fantastic game by the numbers. Even when you lose to them, you would think, hey, all hope is gone. But no, it's not, because it's one game. You still have 16 more games left. It is a long season, folks. All right, teams go on runs. Teams struggle. Like, there's games that basically jumpstart you. There's games that bring you down. So there's a lot that goes into a season. And so I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, we lost the first game of the season and, the season's over. So want to just put that out there, right? Don't overreact. I know we all love to, but let's not overreact. But with that being said, I do think criticism is absolutely warranted based on what we saw today. Just because I'm saying I'm not overreacting to the entire season doesn't mean, and overreacting to this game, doesn't mean I can't give criticism where it is warranted. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. All right. We need to talk about the criticism here. Let's start with the coaching. All right. I'm going to start with the Bears. All right. Then we'll talk about what happened with the Packers in terms of, how Jordan Love played and whatnot. But we'll start with the Bears. The coaching was abysmal today. Luke Getsy was awful. Matt Eberflus was awful. This coaching staff was awful. Alan Williams was awful. Everybody was awful. I have so many questions here. Why are you running the football down 18 points, Luke Getsy? Why are you not throwing the ball vertically, Luke Getsy? Why are you not using DJ Moore more, Luke Getsy? What is Matt Eberflus doing? Jordan Love keeps throwing on third down, and it's to a wide open receiver. Wide open receiver. Right? So when Matt Nagy was here and the offense sucked, he got absolutely blasted and just destroyed by the media. But when the defense is terrible, why can't the same thing happen to Matt Eberflus? I'm sorry, he's not devoid of criticism. You got to perform. This is what you got to do. You get paid the big bucks to perform. I'm sorry, that is just what comes with the territory. All right? So all sides of the football were awful today. The coaching was so bad. So bad. All right? Both sides, it was awful. So Luke Getsy needs to step up and call better plays, because today was awful, throwing screens all day to running backs and tight ends, and it not working, and barely challenging the Packers down the field. And lo and behold, one time you do, the Bears get a touchdown, Fields to Mooney, and it's like, okay, we got to go back to establishing the run. Just no rhythm, nothing there for Justin Fields to feel comfortable about. Just terrible, terrible, awful play calling. Awful play calling. And then defensively, like I said, Jordan Love just had to hit open receivers. He wasn't throwing receivers open. They were wide open. And it's like, first down, second down, you're able to get pressure, and you're able to stop the Packers, and then boom, third down, Jordan Love just has to go through his progressions, boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, there's a wide open guy there. What are you doing, Matty Eberflus? And I have to criticize him because he's a defensive coach, even if he's not calling the plays. It could be Alan Williams, whatever the case may be. Criticism is warranted here. What are you doing coaching-wise? That was abysmal. Abysmal. Let's talk about the offensive line. The Bears' offensive line was god-awful. All right? And now I got to point the finger at Ryan Poles here. All right? Because I told you, no one is devoid of criticism at this point. After that performance, you have to go ahead and own it. Ryan Poles had all offseason to fix the offensive line, which we all knew, heck, the entire NFL knew the Bears' offensive line was crap, was terrible, was awful. And Ryan Poles had all offseason, all the cap space in the world, a number one pick to fix it, and he didn't do it. I get it. Tevin Jenkins was out today. Tevin Jenkins isn't Trent Williams. He's not making that big of a difference, okay? You have an offensive line with, again, a rookie starting in Darnell Wright, who he is a rookie, so you can't expect a lot, but what changes did you make? Nate Davis barely practiced during training camp, didn't look great, and what did that lead to? Justin Fields having zero time to throw. If you saw out there, and I'll get to this in just a second here, the main difference between Fields and Love, the main difference was coaching and line play. You switched the quarterbacks and you put Justin Fields on the Packers, and you probably are going to think and guess that he was going to have way more success because A, the offensive line is going to give him plenty of time to throw, and B, he's going to get good coaching and have good plays called for him. That didn't happen. And so to me, this falls squarely on Ryan Poles' shoulder because no quarterback, and I'll get to Justin Fields in a second here, but no quarterback, I don't care who you are, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, no quarterback is succeeding with a bad offensive line. Long term. They're just not. All right, so to me, Justin Fields still does not get the protection that even adequate quarterback protection would be there for a guy like Justin Fields. Like, this is terrible protection. All right, now, I will criticize Justin Fields here by saying that I believe Fields' release does hurt him. He tends to hold on to the football too long, and his release is a bit slow, and that added with the poor offensive line play is just not a good combination, right? That added with that, not a good combination, and obviously the reads, taking your time through it, maybe he's slower with it, that's not going to help either. The point is, though, the second the ball snapped, there's a pass rusher in Justin Fields' face, there's a pass rusher in the backfield, you just have no time for your young quarterback. That can't happen. Ryan Poles, this is on you. You should have fixed the offensive line. I'm sorry, you should have done it. You had all the resources to. Now again, it's one game, but the Packers pass rush had a day. This game was won in the trenches, folks. It was won in the trenches. And finally, let's talk about Jordan Love. Let's talk about Jordan Love, who had a great game, certainly by the numbers, right? But objectively speaking, how did Jordan Love play today? He played very solid. But here's the thing I want to point out with Jordan Love is that I believe Jordan Love, and this makes total sense here, has had the infrastructure in place now sitting in that Packers system for 3 years where, hey, they're plugging him in as now the starting quarterback. He's got a great offensive line. He doesn't have great weapons and receivers, I get it, but he's got good coaches, and he's put in positions to succeed. The throws that Jordan Love made today, they were solid. I wouldn't say they were, out of this world special. As I mentioned earlier, I don't think he was throwing any receivers open. He did throw with the anticipation. He threw some passes like the one to Romeo Doubs on the left sideline of the goal line, the fade pass. Like, that was solid, right? That's just an anticipation throw. You expect your receiver to be there, make that play. He's probably practiced that a bunch of times, right? But the other plays, right? When he found Luke Musgrave down the left sideline, and that was like where he fumbled the ball. That was good anticipation by him and poised by him to stay with that and, find Musgrave, but he was wide open. And then he found Jaden Reed a bunch of times on a crossing route, on third downs, wide open. Now, again, I will give Jordan Love credit for hitting those throws. But I'm just telling you that if you're talking about him making elite throw after elite throw, that was not the case. But look, we can't complain here. Jordan Love had a good game. Jordan Love had a better game than Justin Fields did. He's straight up. Justin Fields had a pick, which should not have been a pick because he should never have thrown that ball that got picked off by Quay Walker. He stared down the receiver, and it was just too easy for Quay Walker to make that play. Shouldn't have done that. I am a Bears fan, and I will tell you here objectively, obviously, that Jordan Love had a better game than Justin Fields. He just did. But there were things where Jordan Love had more help than Justin Fields on. As I mentioned, the line play and the coaching. So to me, folks, I say all of this to say no one is devoid of criticism. Anytime the Bears put together a terrible performance like they did today, people deserve to get criticized. And I want to be able to call them out, and I want to be able to say why this happened and what was the reason why. And that's why I believe today it was a mix of all of the things I mentioned: coaching, both sides, offense and defense, offensive line play, and then the fact that Jordan Love was put in a position to succeed and Justin Fields wasn't. All right, so to me, hopefully, we turn things around here. It's a long season, 16 more games left. A lot of time left, man. So I'm not going to panic. As I stated at the beginning, I'm not overreacting to one game and saying the season's over, that's it. But I'm not afraid to call things out when I see it need to be called out. So let's hope the Bears learn from this, put it behind them, and move forward to week 2. Because that's all you can do at this point. Packers severely outplayed you. Got to eat crow. And that's it's going to happen. So let me know what you guys think, man. Am I crazy here? Anything I said that you felt like was unwarranted or didn't deserve to be the case? I feel like I called out whatever needed to be called out. And the reason we lost this game was very simple. It was lost in the trenches. The Packers straight up dominated. And yeah, that's all she wrote. So let me know what you guys think, man. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always.